For decades, systemic disparities in this country have festered, often ignored. But this pandemic has exposed all that. Many of the ailments that Band-Aids failed to heal, problems that disproportionately affect poor and vulnerable communities of color, like access to health care, food, and most recently, America's housing crisis. An increasing number of renters across the country now face some grim realities as emergency eviction moratoriums run out and housing courts reopen. For the unemployed, the up to $600 a week CARES Act unemployment checks, they run out at the end of July. As a result, tonight on this, the final day of June, millions of Americans are now in limbo as they struggle to maintain a roof over their head. In Louisiana, a moratorium on evictions ended June 15th. Our Kena Whitworth went to New Orleans, where residents have long been grappling with a housing crisis way before COVID-19.
I just want people to know that it's actually happening, that this is real life. Like, people are actually getting kicked out on the street.
Families in the Big Easy are facing impossibly difficult decisions as this pandemic enters its 5th month.
If they give you food stamps when you buy food.
Right. That doesn't, you have nowhere to put the food.
Shankaya Phillips lives in an apartment that she says the ceilings have always been leaking, but it's home. She has a 6- and 11-year-old and has been out of work for nearly 3 months since the clothing store she worked at closed. And now she has to worry about eviction every day.
Where do you get help from? Where do you turn to when you can't turn to a shelter anymore? When you can't, the home you're living in and you can't afford. You have nobody to look up to, no family members. It's scary.
A new estimate found that she is one of about 28 million Americans at risk of eviction, as this COVID-fueled recession is creating economic havoc across the country.
Here in New Orleans, the eviction rate is twice the national average. A study found last year that in some neighborhoods, it's even 4 times higher.
Now with unemployment 4 times higher than before the pandemic in New Orleans and the federal boost in unemployment benefits expiring at the end of July, the Louisiana Fair Housing Department fears the city is on a collision course.
Folks here know what's coming down the pike. We unfortunately have had more than our share of experience dealing with disasters and governmental failures.
Kashana Hill and her staff are working tirelessly to keep people in their homes. 53-year-old lawyer Winfield is one of them.
You know, there's a certain comfort in having this little place. I can't imagine being without it.
Southeast Louisiana Legal Services has seen a 100% increase in their eviction cases, and 41% of Louisiana renters say they didn't think they could make June rent.
This ongoing crisis was really not treated as a crisis. Now it's being pushed to the level where it must be treated as a crisis because of the pandemic.
Housing rights advocates fear what's coming next.
We're really concerned that we're going to see an avalanche of evictions as the courts open back up.
And landlords are also hurting.
I think it's going to kill them, and I think it's going to kill the city.
Kim Valine has been a landlord for nearly 20 years. She's never once had to evict someone until now.
I'm not a bad guy, and I really like my tenants and take care of my property. But you've got to understand that, you know, certain people are taking advantage of the situation.
She's currently in the process of trying to remove a tenant who she says has not paid rent and has an illegal pit bull. She wasn't able to take any action until the moratorium on evictions expired. In the end, she anticipates losing $15,000, and she still has to pay her mortgage, property taxes, and insurance. Impending evictions have the city on edge, and health leaders are taking notice.
Every economic impact has a public health impact, and so certainly putting more people out of their homes would be devastating.
A problem New Orleans Health Department director has long been trying to solve and telling anyone who will listen.
We need help, and we're going to need it soon.
For so many mothers like Phillips, the dream is simple.
I want to raise my kids with a nice little fence in the front yard and where my dog can run around and not have to worry about them getting shot.
But right now, it's out of reach.
I mean, it makes you want to leave the city of New Orleans, but who wants to leave a place they love?
Kena Whitworth, ABC News, New Orleans.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.